All right. What's going on, guys? As promised, I'm here to give context and understanding and a little insight onto my journey into the financial services industry and how I got here. So, I've been in the people's business my whole life. Over a decade and a half in my professional career in life has revolved around the hospitality industry and restaurants and the automotive industry. Of course, the time in the automotive industry, I was helping people make some very, very important and huge decisions. The second biggest one of all, after the house. Now, I love people, and I've always had a high energy, and I always talked a lot. Now, when I was in school and younger, of course, I got in trouble for this, but it was amazing to find out later in life that there were plenty of jobs out there for people like me that were high energy and go-getters that love helping people and just having fun. But aside from that, I do have a family health history of different conditions from cardiovascular, heart attacks and heart problems to diabetes. So, my grandma suffered from those and a list of others like high blood pressure and a long laundry list of things. I can't remember all of them. I did help take care of her when I was little. I understand the dieting, nutrition, the insulin from diabetes, which can be very beneficial. I'm getting to that now. So my son, my firstborn, my oldest, was a normal, very healthy kid since birth, checked all the boxes, 100 percentile for size, weight, everything. And right after his third birthday, a week after, a little time before that, we could tell something was going on. He wasn't, very verbal. He wasn't talking a lot. He could only put into words, help me. He wasn't feeling well. And then he DK'd one day. It was very scary. His body went into shutdown mode, and we had to rush to the emergency room. He was helivac'd to the Children's Hospital downtown in Tampa. We lived up in North Tampa at the time, and I had rushed to the hospital, but it was wild to say the least. And yeah. So you never know or when it will happen too. It's just if, So if you definitely have family health history and stuff like that, definitely want to touch all those bases. Now I just wanted to further educate myself on investments for the future, insurance, how to protect my family and myself, and also be able to use the knowledge, which is power and information, to assist others that I love and want to help out as well, my friends. Now, I was in an unfortunate motorcycle accident when I was like 23, I believe. And I just left my house. My mom came to visit me, and someone hopped on my bike at the time. Didn't make it 15 minutes down the road. It's like the old saying goes. It's always within, a few miles of the house. You're right around the corner. It's never going to be me, was my famous last words. Of course, I've laid down a bike a couple times, having fun riding. I've ended up sliding, doing things I shouldn't have been doing, nefarious, hard-headed. But yeah, I was in a really bad motorcycle accident. A 90-year-old lady who shouldn't have been driving, and she still had her license after the accident. The court still remained her to drive and get back on the road. But yeah, that was crazy, and I was in a coma for nearly a month. I was left with hundreds of thousands of dollars in medical bills. There's no easy way to say it. I just beat around the bush for a good little minute and was choking up, but that was very tragic. Those pieces of mail and all those emotions, just remembering those and stuff, and just looking over my mom with the little cowboy tears in my eyes, like, how do I ever pay this back in a lifetime? So I had to learn how to talk and walk again. After the accident in 2018, there wasn't enough insurance coverage for physical therapy. There was no money left. I did it all on my own with willpower and desire and strong mindset and really wanting to walk again. I was on bed rest after the accident, after being on the coma, of course. I couldn't put any pressure on my right leg for over a year. I have titanium in it for life, artificial ankle. But yeah, so I'm like Iron Man now. It's pretty awesome. But yeah, and unfortunately, I have dealt with the tragedy of losing a loved one. Hopefully you haven't. It was just another day, and I got a phone call right after they left my house, right after seeing them. Normal conversation, giving me some life advice, talking things over, and they left. They headed home, and somebody crossed into oncoming traffic on a one lane each way road, and probably drinking and driving, and they weren't there, but they took that person's life. That was very close to me, unfortunately. One of my siblings, my only. And accidents are accidents. Well, we cannot predict the future. I don't have a crystal ball. If I did, I'd be at everybody's doorstep telling you, hey, This one you're gonna die. This one, this is gonna happen. We could play the lottery. We could bet on it. We'd all be rich. It'd be fantastic. That isn't the case. So that's why I wanted to further educate myself how to protect my family, my friends, and by no means can you replace a person or try to intend to get rich from losing them. You just want to think long term and make a tough time for your family a smoother transition. Asking help from family isn't always available. I know all too well, being a black sheep and just coming from a dysfunctional family in America. We won't get into all that. But GoFundMe's take time. I had pride. I didn't want to share it. I didn't want to network it out. I sent it to a few friends, closer ones that I prospectively looked at, But thank God for the little small town country folks that my mom knew that donated what they could when they did. It really helped. It really helped me feel like I could breathe again, even though it wasn't a lot of money. But every little bit counts, and it was great that they did what they could. But that's just to summarize it all for you guys, from health conditions to accidents that you can't plan for, you don't know, things that are out of your control. If you know you have a family health history of conditions in your family, my son's no longer insurable because of him getting such a serious health condition being so young. So that's tough as well. But yeah, there's always a way. You always find all the other alternatives out and figure other routes out.